Hi, y'all. All right, here's my update on this big thing that I hinted at in my last Spiritpreneur portal video. I want to talk about this new spark that I have, this new passion that I have. And I also want to talk about the things that keep us from our spark and the things that keep us from our passion. Because, girl, I've been smoking cannabis a little bit too much, a little bit too much. I'm self sabotaging because as soon as I started to feel like, oh, I have a lot of work to do, I don't know anything about how to make this dream a reality. And I'm kind of freaking out because it kind of seems like the thing that I would need is just like a whole lot of money. There's a whole lot of money in this motherfucker. But I think I need more than that. I think I need quite a lot more than that. And also, just to have money, like just to. Anyway, there's a lot that goes into making a dream a reality. And if you're a spiritpreneur, you know this. You know that you take one step and it feels like you've taken like a quarter of a step, like one of those two steps forward, one step back kinds of things. Um, when it comes to doing like very intentional spiritual things in the material world. I mean, maybe I'm lacking in connecting with my guides and my ancestors and like giving over more work to them. And yet I also feel like I'm dreaming and I'm a projector in human design. And I'm like dreaming and envisioning so powerfully right now that I'm like envisioning the dream. I'm writing about it. I'm talking to people about it. I'm putting it out there in a lot of different ways. And I'm about to put it out there in this video again because I think it's like, I think maybe this is my work. I think maybe this is my ritual for the ancestors and for my guides is to just keep saying it and keep that vibration like carrying across, you know, infinite landscapes, and it'll just keep accelerating until it leaves the atmosphere and it travels out into the cosmos. I don't know. Maybe a star out there will explode because of how much I really want this. I don't know. But I just got to keep talking about it and I got to keep sharing the struggles that I have because I just heard from somebody the other day that they appreciated my last video on gaining my spark back. And yeah, I know that I got to talk about me sabotaging myself. But I'm also going to just share with you my spark. And my spark is I want to open up a shop. I want to open up a brick and mortar. And I never thought like this was a thing for me. I bought a camper trailer years ago because I thought I was going to fix it up and travel around the country and go to different places and be like pseudo camping everywhere I go, inviting people like over to the trailer to do card readings and just be able to like um, fuel this passion that I have for guiding people out of their shame and into compassion. That I just thought like this is gonna work. This is gonna happen. COVID-19 hit and I was home a lot. Me and my dad worked on my trailer. We built it up a lot, but then I don't know, just a lot of other things started to happen, and that dream faded for me. And it wasn't like the clearest vision either. It wasn't the clearest dream, but it was the dream that got me imagining that I would be out there interacting with people and creating spaces in which to do the things that I dream of, that I think are really important to do. And I'd never thought of opening a brick and mortar. I never thought of creating like a distinct physical location for V for Vibrant and all of my practices. Um, I see it now though. I see this non consumptive shop where we provide services, but also we remain open as a third space, as like a community hub where we gather every Sunday to just color and chit chat, where we have dance nights and open mics, where we have workshops on transforming your intuition uh, into intuition from anxiety. Um, we have crystal exchange because, like I said, we're practicing non-consumption. We're not extracting from the earth anymore. We're not using white sage. We're not buying white sage in bulk in spite of the fact that it's endangered because we actually care about the earth. We're spiritual people who are grounded. This is what I want. This is the community that I want. This is the space that I see for myself. Because I'm a great leader. I know how to lead, I know how to facilitate, I know how to encourage people to show up in their best and also accept when people's best is like, I've only got 25% to give today. Well, great. Well, great. Well, awesome. Give that to yourself. Go home. I feel like I just know where I'm at and I know what I'm capable of, and this is right up my alley. But also it's like I don't want to do it here in Florida. I want to open it in Texas. I that's where my if any of you know, okay, spiritpreneur things. Spiritpreneur thinks, ooh, oh, we're changing positions because it's like we're at a slumber party and we're just like, oh my God, did you hear about? Or like, oh my God, do you know about? If you know about astrocartography, you might have been able to look up with your birth information, with your birth chart, where in the world are best places for you to be, for you to put down roots or to set up shop. And I realized after a friend of mine moved to Texas, I was like, oh, maybe that might be a place for me because I did like being in Texas when I traveled through there years ago with my mom. We were on a road trip out to California, and I actually was like, oh, Texas is like a dry Florida. Interesting. Still hot, but cooler in the evenings. That's nice. That's nice. Okay, so a couple little tweaks. But I also just really enjoyed Austin. I enjoyed that area. I haven't been to Houston, but I'm kind of like toying with either of those places as a potential location for opening up shop. And uh, I don't live there. I don't live in Texas at all. I don't. So this is what I mean by like I have this big dream, but um, there are a lot of obstacles, and they don't have to be. I can just like give it all up to my guides. I can give it up to God, and just be like, figure this out for me. But I also have this belief that God helps those who help themselves, and so I have to put in the work. I have to put in the work. And yeah, I could change that belief. God helps those who help themselves. I could change it to God helps those regardless of whether you can help yourself. And God moves mountains and God makes miracles and all these things. And also, I'm a grounded spiritual person. I'm not the kind of person who's like, just enter into the 5D and do it all there and then watch what happens with your life. There are people for that. I'm not one of those people. I'm like we have to figure out what we're doing and then we can ask what we need. So I'm like in the I feel like I know the vision. It's an incredible community hub, and there are going to be crafts persons and artists and authors who we create like a shelving subscription where you can subscribe to the shop in order to have shelf space, and you can pay $10, $15 a month for a chunk of shelf space for your creations to be available. And that's it. We don't take any of the money, we don't take any commission. You earn all of the money that and the money will go straight to you. We'll put little QR codes under everything, and it'll take people directly to your Venmo or directly to your PayPal or directly to whatever. It's honestly, I'm like, how do we make this so that everybody feels really good and not used or abused at all by the relationships that we're forming and the collaborative environment that we are cultivating together? How do we do it? We practice compassion. And that's what I want to call the shop. Practice compassion. Hey, where are you going? Oh, I'm going to go practice compassion. I just love it. I just love it so much. And yet, I've been smoking a lot of cannabis. Not today, which is how I'm even able to make videos. I don't feel like if you go to older videos, you will see kind of a squinty version of me who like gets really lost in the sauce, who like doesn't necessarily always land the point. I've cringed at my own old videos. Okay, I've watched some of them and been like, I was way too high for this. But that's how I make videos now, is I'm sober. I cannot be smoking. I can't be consuming anything other than maybe some caffeine from my green tea. But I can't be consuming anything because then I just become this like really unintelligible uh, humanoid. I become like an alien. I'm like, I think I'm making sense. And then later, after I've already published it, I'm like, that was crazy. So I like see myself going, oh, I want to record more videos. I want to talk more about Practice Compassion, the shop. I want to talk more about so many different things. I want to get people into my Patreon because getting unstuck is a theme that I think we all resonate with. And having a series that is coming out at a slow, deliberate pace so that people can like really sink their teeth into it and then take time to process and integrate, because I've thought about it and because I have actually created space for us to process the changes that come about when we are committed to getting unstuck and we're actually on that path and we're taking that deliberate journey. I mean, I want people in there. I want to talk about Patreon so that I can get people into this, and not regular Patreon where you like pay a different amount for a different level of service. Like my new Patreon, the new version of my Patreon, the Vibrant Resource Library Community, we pay what we can and we get everything. Okay. So every single thing, every single resource in that space is available to everybody, no matter which tier you've opted into. So whatever you can pay monthly, you get everything. And I leave it up to you. I leave it up to you as a person who knows yourself and trusts yourself and understands how to respect and honor other people's work and creations and the time that they've dedicated. I trust you. I trust you, and I trust you to trust yourself. I want people in there. I want people following me on YouTube so that we can have these conversations, not so I can, get the most views or whatever, but so that we can have these conversations, so we can be talking about things that are important. That's what I want. And smoking cannabis keeps me from that. And it keeps me from doing the sort of CEO things that I get from James Wedmore. I think it's seven figure CEO. Um, he also does business by design, which is a really interesting concept. And I kind of wonder at which point I would opt into that kind of thing, because I just don't feel like I have enough. I don't have enough people yet. I don't have enough traction yet. And yet, when I love to just like have this thing blow up and be able to help so many people all at once and make sure that my services are things that I can be doing so steadily that, pardon me, so steadily that I don't have to work a part time job anymore. Wouldn't that be cool? I mean, I do like serving. I do like serving. I do love the restaurant industry because there's just something very like the movement in it, and the people service and the human nature of it all is just like very fun for me. But wouldn't it be nice? And I just keep smoking every time I think that thought. I keep going, you know what? That smells really good, super loud, and I'm about to get super stoned. I know that there's a part of me that fears power, that fears asking for what I want, that fears just cold emailing people or cold calling people and being like, hey, give me money for this thing that I want to do that I really believe in. And a part of me is unconvinced that I have the power of persuasion, or unconvinced that I would be able to excel in the areas of like kind of the long haul, just like talking about my thing over and over so that I can like convince enough people of its worth and value. And oh, let me make sure this thing is on. Yes. Okay, great. Gotta check the green light. Um, I think sometimes I get really exhausted just thinking about having to explain my thing so much that I do get down to like an elevator pitch, and I do get down to a place where I'm like, oh, like I can say this in 20 words or less, and really convey what the feeling and the movement behind this idea is. Um, but I also then get like exhausted by the thought of it. I'm already tired. That's why I needed my green tea, because I needed a little bit of caffeine to get me going. I'm realizing that I have to just do it tired. I have to just not keep cannabis in the house so that I can prevent myself from self sabotaging and shooting myself in the foot. I've realized that I have to not beat myself up over when I do want to toke a little bit and give myself a moment of relaxation and playing a video game for several hours and going to bed a little too late. I have to give myself those things, and I also have to show up when I'm tired. I have to show up when I'm not sober. I have to just keep doing the thing. I just have to keep going, because at this point now I have something so worth my time and energy, so important to me, that I can't imagine abandoning it. I can't imagine how devastated I would feel if it turned out like Lydia, my camper trailer that I was going to travel the country in, that never left my parents' front yard. I can't imagine how devastated I would be if practice compassion never came into existence in the world. And I don't want to, and I shouldn't have to, because it's happening. Because it's happening. It's happening. It's happening, and it's happening. All of those things, all of those feelings, all of those intonations. Because yeah, it's not going to happen overnight. And that's the fun of it. And also that's the that that like pressure point where exhaustion starts to just sweep over my whole body, and I start to live in the future tense. When that happens, I have to remind myself that's not where my point of power is. I have to pull it back. I have to come back into the present moment. I have to not live in the future except to visualize me moving about the shop and helping people and dancing with people and laughing with people and creating playlists together as a community playlist once a month. We have a new playlist, and we all collectively add to it on theme. Isn't that fucking fun? Isn't that fucking cute? I love that. These are the things that I want to be fucking doing, and they're gonna fucking happen. I just have to keep going, even while tired. I have to show up while tired. I have to show up while high. I have to show up in every single state that I might be in or I might put myself in, because I am not going to let this down. I'm not going to let this idea down. I'm not going to let myself down. I'm not going to let down all of the people who, after I've shared this idea, have already told me, like, I love this. I need this. Hit me up when this shop is open. I want to be there. I'm going to be there. Those are all my feels. Those are my feels and my thoughts for today. Let me know how y'all are doing. Let me know if you've got a spark and what is sparking you. Let me know if this idea sparks you and maybe you want to be involved somehow, or maybe you know of an investor who, or not, maybe not even an investor, but somebody who has worked with small businesses before, and you're like, oh, that would be a great mentor for Kellyanne or a great partner for Kellyanne. Let me know. Hook me up. I'm so open to all of the guidance that is out there in the web of the world, and you are part of that web. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I love you so much. You're deserving of all the love you desire, and I want to hear from you. So let's keep talking. Okay, bye.